Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we bring you the 5 news items that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1. It's all about the local market. The S&P ASX 200 finished up 1.1% to 7,131 points today. Tech stocks did really well, as did consumer discretionary and financial stocks. Energy and materials companies underperformed. Macquarie Group closed up nearly 4%, while National Australia Bank and Westpac both finished up more than 3%. ANZ rose 2.7%. Fortescue dropped 3.4%, while BHP Group closed down 1.5%. Rio Tinto tumbled almost 8% after it said it was cutting all ties with Russia. Investors are now wondering how Rio will get power to its massive Oyu Tolgoi copper mine in Mongolia. Block, which now owns Afterpay, surged 7% after it redeemed $1.5 billion in convertible debt issued to Afterpay investors. That's cleaning up the balance sheet there. The travel companies also did well on the back of a drop in the extremely high oil price. Story number 2 comes from the land of commodities. Wow, it's all been happening there. We all know how high prices have gone thanks to the Russian invasion of Ukraine and fears about energy supplies being disrupted and wheat volumes tumbling. But news this morning that OPEC, the oil cartel, was going to up production took some heat out of the market. Brent crude is now trading around $114 a barrel. Yep, it's high. Petrol prices aren't going to come down anytime soon, but at least they won't surge too much. Gas prices have also come off, as has the price of an ounce of gold, which is now fetching around $1,970. The Aussie dollar is trading above 73 US cents. Story number 3 is all about cryptocurrencies. This morning, Joe Biden, the US president, made an executive order to ensure the responsible development of digital assets. The order calls for protection for US consumers, investors and businesses via policies around the booming crypto sector. It also calls for research into a US central bank digital currency. So, what's all that about? Why are we getting excited? Because it gives a bunch of digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ether, Binance, Solana credibility and standing in the world. When the president says cryptos need to be taken seriously, people take them seriously. Probably some of the meme cryptos aren't going to like this news, but the big ones surged on the news. Story number 4, the Prime Minister Scott Morrison today unveiled plans to grow Australia's military personnel to nearly 80,000. That's about 18,500 more people than now. The challenge is where to find them. In fact, it's even more than that. Defence Minister Peter Dutton today conceded the ADF was losing young recruits. The Prime Minister said the decision to boost the ADF was recognition of the threats to Australia's liberal democracy. He said the coalition government had boosted defence spending by $55 billion. Meanwhile, opposition leader Anthony Albanese said Labor will also boost defence funding if it wins power in the coming election. Funny world when both sides of politics are boasting about how much they're spending on defence. And story number 5 comes from the freezing climes of Antarctica. Ernest Shackleton's vessel, the Endurance, has been discovered 106 years after it was crushed in pack ice and sank. The wooden 3-masted vessel was found 4 miles south of its last known location in pristine condition. That's because the water's so cold, very few microorganisms were around to eat away at the wood. The Endurance never made it to the South Pole, but its crew of 27 survived after letting the ship go down, pitching a tent in the ice for 5 months, and when the weather warmed, taking an 800-mile open boat journey to South Georgia. Incredible courage and resilience from Shackleton and the crew. The sunken vessel was among the last remaining major shipwrecks yet to be found. What's this got to do with business? Nothing really. Great story though. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Friday Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.